The man, having just traveled 400 years into the future to Earth, was startled by a skeleton in front of him. He discovered that the skeleton was wearing an identification tag with the same name as his. Not only that, he also saw a mechanical bracelet on the corpse's wrist that was identical to his own. The only difference was that the indicator lights on the two bracelets were one red and one green. Initially, Nick thought it was just a coincidence, but then he found an old smart assistant next to the corpse. This instantly made him disbelieve his eyes, because this smart assistant was exactly the same as the one he had. After calming down, Nick realized that this skeleton was his future self from 400 years later. But judging from the bullet hole in the skull, he hadn't died a natural death. To find out who killed him, Nick used his smart assistant to replay the recording from the time of his death.
Maybe it's better this way. No one's suffering anymore.
Power failure.
Shutting down. Goodbye.
To uncover the truth behind this, Nick used the oxygen device he brought with him to create a simple charger. Soon, night fell, and feeling hungry, he casually picked some wild fruits from a tree to eat. Unexpectedly, as soon as he swallowed them, his stomach suddenly churned violently, and his abdomen was in excruciating pain. Clearly, the wild fruits contained some kind of toxin. Just when Nick thought his life was in danger, the sky suddenly flashed with lightning and thunder. Then, a dazzling light descended from the sky, and before he could react, a figure appeared and injected him with a needle in his buttocks. When Nick recovered, he found that the person was his best friend, Anton. It turned out that the smart assistant had detected Nick's poisoning, so it sent the message back to the experiment 400 years ago. So the boss had Anton bring the antidote to travel through time to administer the antidote. The next morning, Nick led Anton to the abandoned laboratory from the previous day. Just as the two were thinking about how to get in, a mechanical arm suddenly emerged from the bushes. With just a quick scan, the gate of Nick's abandoned base slowly opened. After the two entered, they saw a computer in front of them. After wiping the dust off the screen, they found the words, "Welcome, Nick," on it. With doubts, he slowly pressed the enter key. The next second, the mechanical bracelet on his wrist suddenly activated. As if sensing something, the base's power suddenly restored. Only then did they realize this was the experimental base from 400 years in the future. Before the two could react, a projection of Nick's father appeared. The father explained this time machine was something he had painstakingly built 400 years ago. Its purpose was to help humanity solve the oxygen crisis. But before the father could finish speaking, the projection equipment suddenly malfunctioned. However, the time machine in front of them was instantly activated and started a 4-hour charging mode. After 4 hours, the time machine would open the portal again and send them back to 400 years ago. With only 4 hours left, they hadn't found any useful clues yet. Helpless, they had to go out and explore. Maybe they could find a way to solve the oxygen crisis. But when they followed the guidance of the intelligent assistant and arrived at the city where they once lived, they were horrified to find the entire city was covered in plants. All they saw were ruins.